Hi simmies! This tutorial goes over how to extract part of an EA object and make a new package file with it. I originally made this for redditor ChronicallyFab when she asked for help extracting a cart from a treadmill in the Sims 4CC subreddit. There are a lot of useful tips in this video, so I wanted to share it with everyone. I hope you find this helpful, and please reach out if you have any questions. Let's get started! What I've done is I have copied in the full treadmill object here. So this is where we're going to be extracting the cart from. I have also extracted, this is the object that we're going to be importing to. So it's just a table. So I'll talk more about that in a sec. But basically, I always take the exported Blender file and copy the files into a new Blender window. It's just easier to work with, and I like my setup. You can do either one, but this also preserves the original file, so in case you need to start over, you can go back. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete these. We don't need them. And the first thing I like to do is see the object with the material. So I'm in Cycles Render. It's actually really easy to set this up. So it copied over the material file. So this is the material file for the treadmill. So what I'll do is I'll rename that to treadmill. Hitting this F button, make sure it doesn't get deleted. Then I'll go over here. I will make a new material file, treadmill. So when you're in Cycles Render, it sets this up automatically, and all you need to do, it's super easy. Just go to this texture, image texture. By the way, this is the nodes mod, whatever window screen. This is the picture window screen, and this is like the normal 3D view editor. So now you just here, since I renamed it, it's easy to find, and I connect it. Now I can look at it with the materials. You can see these aren't showing up. That's because these are the shadow files, which I didn't connect to the material yet. If I did connect it to the treadmill material, you'll see it's not the right texture. So typically the shadow I don't really worry about. Good practice, I try and go here and name things. We'll hide that real quick. And let's see what this is. Okay, that looks like it's just the treadmill moving part, so we'll just delete that. We don't need that. Okay, so this is the main part of the object. So we'll put cart. And then this is that screen. So we'll rename that. And then what is this guy? Okay, we don't need that, so we'll delete that. Okay, so now we have these three objects. So what I'll go in here and do, this is what I like to do when I'm extracting objects. So I'll go in here, and when you toggle this, you'll see what's nice about this is when I click something, I can see where it is on the UV map. You can see as I click here, it shows up down here. The reason I like to do this is because I feel like it's easier to see what needs to be deleted. So to make things really easy, I'll highlight everything, remove doubles, and then I'm going to hit with this highlight, hit the L button, and it highlights everything it's connected to. So we're just going to delete that guy, right? So this is probably how you did it, or a similar technique, but we'll just go through and delete. I'm just hitting L, by the way, hovering over things and hitting L. Ooh, just delete all these guys. We don't need any of this. All right, cool. So now we'll go in here, we'll delete this shadow, we don't need that. Okay, so at this point, this guy is kind of rotated, and that's really not how you'd want to place it in game. So I always go to the center. I just hit Shift A, Shift F, Shift S as in snake, cursor to selected. This is an edit mode, get out of edit mode, origin to 3D cursor. And then I'll set this guy origin to 3D cursor. Now these guys have the same origin. So because we only want to move them in X and Y, I'll come over here and lock them in the Z direction. And then I'll go here, 0, 0, 0, 0, just to center this. Oh, the screen didn't move. So same thing with this, set origin to 3D cursor. Lock that guy. Okay, so now we have it centered, but you can see it's kind of angled. One way I rotate this is if you go to View, Perspective Orthogonal, and then View, Viewpoint Top. It gives you a nice view so you can rotate it really easily. If you don't have Perspective Orthogonal turned off, you'll see you kind of get this weird view of it. So you really want to do View Perspective Orthogonal. Now I'm going to hit A, which selects all 3 items, rotate Z, and then I just kind of, I'm looking, you can spend more time getting it perfect, but that's about good. Okay, so there we go. We have the object. Now, one thing you'll want to do before doing anything else is hit Control A, rotation and scale. So that just says this is the default. Anyway, so this guy is pretty much good. We can see now these are all the parts that are left. So you can use the same image. You won't end up using any of these parts, but that's really okay. And then let's look at the screen. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap this guy. And then, okay, so see, this part's the bottom left, and this part's the bottom right. So we'll rotate it 90 degrees, scale. And then because this whole part's unused, I'll put this here, because then what you can do is go in and edit this image, and then put whatever image you want in this spot. So I am actually going to join these two now. Okay, and so see now this guy shows up. Okay, so P pins locks us in place. So one thing that's really helpful is export UV layout. And what this will do is it'll allow you to open it up in Photoshop or whatever, and you can overlay it on top of the image to see where everything goes. Okay. All right, so now one thing you want to go do, so you want to go here and look at the vertex groups. So because this is going to be a decor object, you're going to want to get rid of these. All you want is the transform bone. Okay, so these are pretty much good. So now I just go in here and delete these because you don't need them. All right, so our new object, again, I'll delete these. So our new object, unlike the original object, let's see, only has 3 objects in it. So the original treadmill had like 7 or something, or 6. But you can see here under properties, so cut 0 is one of the shadows. Cut 1 is the other shadow, and then this third object is the table. So what we're going to do, we'll copy these guys over here to the new object. So basically, tab A, X vertices. So this is the object I want to put the cart into. So I will go here and click join. So now this has the right cut number, cut 2. And now these are kind of like the leg parts of the shadow. So we'll go in here. Oh, I guess it might be easier to do this. Okay, so what I did is I hit P to separate the 2 shadows. So now you can see there's 2. So this part, we'll go delete those vertices and we'll join them there. And then that guy, put this in here. Okay, so now we are ready to transfer this. So again, I'll get rid of these. We don't need them. Okay, so now I'll copy these, save this, open. Okay, so I had already exported these for the table. So this is what it originally looks like. So now I'll copy this guy in. We don't really need to. Oh, okay. So since I removed doubles, I don't know if you remember that. It looks all kind of wonky right now. So a quick way to fix that, just go to edge split. So now you can see it looks more normal. All right, so now we want to get rid of these original items in here. So we'll just get rid of those. And now we have our cart. So the one last thing you'll want to do is open up, and now the shadow. So it's saying here, come in and copy this. You don't want to delete this 0. We want to copy into this. So we'll just delete the vertices. We don't need the shadows for this. Join, remove doubles. Okay, so this guy is ready. So now what we'll do is go. All right, so this is what we're going to be using. We don't need all these. So respirator, whoops. Okay. Texture, we'll be using the, sorry, let me go and find this. Okay, so we want this treadmill object. You can end up adding more swatches, so it'll look really weird at first, but when we go in here, go to the files we just saved. Take a second. There we go. So it's backwards, so you might want to flip it 180 degrees. But that is basically it. One thing that you will want to do is the bump and spec map, like I told you. Oh, sorry, before we do that, this was a table at first, so we'll want to delete all of these because you don't want those. Okay, the last step is to go in and fix the bump and spec map. This is the spec map, and this is the bump map. So they actually have those. They came with the treadmill. So I'll go here to the treadmill, and let's see. Sometimes they don't use them. Okay, but this one does use it. This is the bump map. So we'll export this. So you want to export as a DDS. Bump. And then here's the spec map. All right. Now make sure DDS, import, what is it? The spec, and then import the bump, save. All right. Now here we'll want to change the tags to decorations, and then probably like a sculpture or something. Okay, one cool thing you can do as a trick, if you put this little pipe thing and then hit test, it'll allow you to search by test. Okay, so close out of that. Now here's what we just edited. We'll go here, testing CC. But essentially, so even though I exported it from a treadmill object, you can import it to any other object. So like I did a table. So once you have the mesh, as long as you're making sure the cut files are correct for the object you're importing to, that helps a lot because like for the respirator, you don't need all like the treadmill animation. So it's really best to build like the most simple package file you can and ignore all of my crazy builds. They're just, all I do is test. So they're all really ugly. All right, so we'll go here, search test. All right, there you go. So one thing you'll probably want to do is fix the footprint, but that's basically it. So then what you can do, so since we exported the UV map, you can go in there and change the image that shows up there, but that is basically all you need to do. So hope that helps.